Greetings survivors and friends, SHADOWFRAX here with your latest node of update ore, and this week I think instead of shooting the messenger, you might just be wanting to give him a crate full of pies. But first, but over half of you aren't even subscribed. What's going on? Okay, let's do a fun experiment. I'm going to say to you now, if you watch my vids but you're not subbed, sub now. And then next week we'll see how much this has changed. Oh, and leave me a like and join the ring-a-ding-ding club while you're at it. Okay, now to the meat and to veg of this update vid, as it were, which I'd be surprised if you didn't like. A couple of days ago, a commit popped up about the furnace UI rework. Thusly, cook all slots at once, rather than the first slot, then the second slot, etc. Now, this is currently still on an internal branch, but I managed to get my greasy hooves on some footage of how this will work in practice. Just remember, of course, as with everything, always, this is subject to change. As you can see here, both sulfur and metal ore will start cooking simultaneously once more in a furnace. Not only, but also you'll get a nice visualization as to the cooking speed. Next, a look at how the large furnace handles it as well, and basically all stacks of ore will cook at the same time at their own rates, and it's only the fuel that will continue to use up a stack at a time, but that's not really an issue. This is a blanket change coming to all ovens, so the same logic applies to barbecues, refineries, etc., and I imagine this will be included in the next patch on the 6th of October. Not only, but also some other quality of life changes are coming in hot, with the server browser UI getting a rework. This will let you filter by tags in a much more pleasurable checkboxy way, plus options are getting a change to use drop-down boxes instead of selecting between them with left and right, but that's not merged yet as of writing this. And for the first time since 2015, the Jackson Pollocks among us will finally have access to more colours in the painting palette. Hey, paint is expensive. Talking of which, you should check out the vid I posted a couple of days ago that only about 10% of you have seen. It's a moving documentary about one man's quest to make rust grey again. Go and watch it after this. It needs some love. In other adjustments, fuel wagon yields will be a maximum 300 to 900 low grade and a minimum 100 to 400. And tech tree prices on hardcore servers are going to inflate because it is a hardcore after all, and although it's still very much subject to change, it'll probably settle somewhere around tier 1 being 25% more expensive, tier 2 being 50% more, and tier 3 being double the current cost. Oh, plus that new campfire model's on staging now and looking rather inviting. Something that popped up in the commits last week, but of course there wasn't enough other news to make of it, was that underground work carts will now have couplers, which would imply that they will be coupleable to other things which at the moment obviously don't spawn underground, but I checked into this and indeed it looks like in future we'll be able to do the same sort of thing with trains underground that we currently do on the surface. There may even be an event involved, and possibly, in the far future, both above and below ground circuits will ideally link up. What a time to be alive. Talking of which, the team stuck this commit in this week too, so it looks like we'll be able to get around the tracks under our own steam as well soon. No low grade needed, just jump on and start pumping. One of the most exciting changes coming up is what started happening on the industrial branch. Now, this is an internal branch. It's likely that we won't see the results of this for quite a while, but it has started with mention of an industrial crafter which needs to be attached to a workbench and will presumably auto-craft things for you. Apparently this is all a plan to eventually create a system for piping together various things, such as workbenches, furnaces, containers, etc., with inputs and outputs to create automated crafting systems. An electric furnace will also be included in this, I believe. Details are sketchy, of course, so I can only speculate, but it puts me in mind of a plugin I showed a few vids back that lets you do a similar thing, although not as elegantly and tidily as an official system will be able to do, I'm sure. This is also, I'm told, a long way off, with a ton of work to do to get everything playing nicely and make all the pipes line up. I just hope it looks something like this, with visible items whizzing along pneumatic tubes. We can dream. There are a number of small fixes and tweaks this week, including some to sort out issues involving ragdolls and collisions, trees spawning on rails, and debris blockers getting destroyed by rockets. In works in progress, there's so much happening and so little I can actually show you at the moment, but there are of course pets, the new caboose with blackjack game, the ferry terminal for server hopping, and the nuclear missile silo. However, finally, you may be wondering what the thumbnail's all about. Well, these are not new items per se, although they do look amazing. I am told that a new paid DLC is on the way, which will include reskins for tools, and I believe also a new Hazy. Not sure exactly when these will hit or the finer points of what will be included, but I'll keep you informed as and when I get the scoop. Let me know what you think to these and indeed all the changes in the comments below, please. Right, that's it. You're up to date. Leave me a like. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, my Steam group. You can also support the channel via Patreon, YouTube memberships, or my merch store. All the links will be below. I shall catch you all very soon. But in the meantime, keep calm and stay rusty. Cheerio. This video is powered by AWDIT's producer range of workstation PCs, available now at awdit.co.uk. And the minimum